What's up, party people? A couple nights ago, I watched A History of Violence from my personal collection. I love A History of Violence. It's one of my favorite films from recent years. I think it's one of the better films of the last decade. I thought it was the best film of its year. And yeah, I pretty much love it. I think I feel more and more guilty for some reason for giving films 10s. Just because, again, a 10 is perfection, and theoretically, perfection does not exist. So I always feel a little bit guilty giving a 10, but I want to give this a 10, but I know it's definitely a 9. I wanted to watch it for two main reasons. The other day I saw Killer Joe, and while watching Killer Joe, I was reminded of A History of Violence. I thought Killer Joe had a very Cronenberg-esque feel, even though, it was made by, a Cronenberg contemporary, William Friedkin. I still got this, I don't know, I thought it could have been made by David Cronenberg. So that kind of got me going on it, and David Cronenberg has a new film that was released last week, and I hope to see it soon, Cosmopolis, and so just get myself geared up to see Cosmopolis, and because Killer Joe just reminded me of it, I had to watch it. History of Violence is about a man who's lived and worked and become a part of a small town for some 20 odd years. And one day, while thwarting a robbery and possibly much worse, he kills two invaders, would-be robbers, rapists, murderers. Kills them, saving a diner full of people, but garnering himself a lot of attention from both the town and the media, which is bad because he's really on the run from the Philadelphia Mafia. So as soon as his face is plastered all over the television for saving a few lives, he suddenly finds his own and his family's under threat from the Philadelphia mob. So he's got to, save himself now. I really love the film. I saw it once in the theater. Bought it pretty much as soon as it came out because I absolutely loved it. And I've seen it several times. If I've got to guess, I would probably say this was the 5th or 6th time of watching the film the other night, and I absolutely love it. It is directed by David Cronenberg. He actually went on a long streak of not writing his own films. He actually went from Crash, which I believe was sometime around 1997. The movie where people get in auto accidents and then have sex on the auto accidents. So he went from writing Crash to all the way to the new film, Cosmopolis, in 2012. He took a big break of not writing his own material and instead adapting others' works. This is written by Josh Olson, a name I'm unfamiliar with, but I think this is a peculiar film because it is based on a graphic novel or comic book. And you definitely don't think of comic book when you think of this film. I kind of, technically, I think it's one of the better comic book films there is. Even though it is not your typical, superhero spandex comic book. It's more along the lines of, there's not too many out there. There's that Ghost World, that was a graphic novel. I believe Persepolis was a graphic novel. I mean, we've got Sin City, Watchmen, but again, those are, you know, Sin City and Watchmen being like more traditional comic book films. But you've got to include A History of Violence. It is indeed a comic book film, and it's awesome. It's one of the better ones. So the graphic novel was written by John Wagner and Vince Locke. Around the time that the film came out, you know, the graphic novel got a little bit more play, and like went to the, you know, front shelf at Barnes and Noble, and I can remember like skimming through it, but I definitely didn't read it. The film stars, let's see here, who all have we got? Viggo Mortensen, Maria Bello, William Hurt, Ed Harris. I'm trying to remember the young guy's name. I think he's bigger now, but I confuse him with oh shoot, Jesse Eisenberg, the guy from Social Network and Zombieland. I get him confused. It's this kid right here. I don't know, I can't remember his name, but I know I've seen him in other stuff. I think he does a lot of TV work as well. All the acting is great. I mean, that's like the acting is standout. You've got Ed Harris and you've got William Hurt, who are in the film for just a couple of scenes, really almost glorified cameos, and they're just chilling performances. You know, layered, just really spectacular acting performances from really everyone, but particularly William Hurt, Ed Harris. William Hurt was nominated for an Oscar. In fact, did he win? I can't remember. I don't think so. But, you know, he's only in the film for some 6 minutes, 8 minutes. And he was nominated for an Academy Award, so that should tell you something. In terms of time, I mean, that's what I think really makes the film effective, is it's pretty much right at 90 minutes. It's an hour-and-a-half film, and it just, you know, disappears. 90 minutes will just evaporate from your life in no time while watching this film. It really pulls you in and keeps you there. Because it's a very simple, very focused story. It just runs right along, smooth as day. It's not very, you know, flashily directed. That's not Cronenberg's style. He's more of just letting this tension build and build, and which it certainly does here. It's just, you know, close-ups. There's always some kinky sex in a Cronenberg film, and there's definitely some kinky sex here. There's actually some great sex scenes, actually. Stuff that you don't normally see in, you know, a wide-release movie. I mean, I can't really place another film, and I'm like trying to right now, that has, you know, a full-on 69 sex in the film. And, you know, whatever. I can't really think of any others. So that was like, wow, I don't think I've ever seen that before. What year was this? Crap. I wanted to find it. Well, I was trying to remember 2005. I was trying to remember, no, I guess it doesn't predate The Lord of the Rings. I also, you know, thought it was kind of prescient because, you know, it was this film about, you know, he hasn't forgotten who he is. He knows who he is, but he's a man who's created this other persona, who hides an entire chunk of his life. And I thought a lot of films followed suit. You know, I was trying to remember if this predated the Bourne films, and I realize that the Bourne films were originally novels, but I think, History of Violence got a big jump on everyone by making it about, a film where someone, again, has tried to put their past behind them, has tried to create a new identity, and now it seems that I see that a lot. So I think that A History of Violence was right there on the cusp of that, dramatic trick or story. I really don't know what else to say other than I just love this movie. If you've never seen A History of Violence, well, do yourself a favor and check it out. I mean, if you're a Cronenberg fan, I can't believe you haven't seen it. You definitely need to. I think it's one of his best. Well, I don't really know what else to say about it. I absolutely love it. There's not really much I can find wrong with it. It absolutely centers me. Just my brain goes on leave for an hour and a half, and it's absorbed into this taut, thrilling story. So that's pretty fantastic. I really can't think of anything else much to say. So that's A History of Violence from my personal collection. I'll give it a 10 just because I'll watch this film for the rest of my life. So thanks very much.